welcome to the video. This is going to be one of the most ambitious projects I've ever attempted. This is my brother's 2009 Suzuki GSXR600, and basically, as you can see laid out all over the floor, we have a ton of parts. The goal is to restore this bike. As you can see, there's a lot of scratches, dents, dings, patina. The case is scratched, the fairings are scratched, the seat's destroyed, the taillight's broken. Overall, the bike is dusty, dirty. I would say the bike is in a decent condition as far as the forks, the chain, the engine, the brakes, that's all good, but cosmetically, this bike needs some work. So here's what we're gonna do. As you can see here, we have a bunch of fairing pieces laid out. We're going to take all these fairing pieces, we're gonna sand them down and give it a nice paint job. We have a custom color that we're gonna be doing. We also have a fresh set of tail lights to replace that busted set. We have some new mirrors because currently this bike has no mirrors and that's a pain in the ass. I don't know how people ride around with no mirrors. It's not fun. You can't look behind yourself. Those are some pretty cool LED blinkers, but we need mirrors. Like how do you get around without mirrors? We also have a new set of levers. These levers are pretty damn clean. They're pretty much the same as what's on there already, but just a way better color. Nobody wants that pink, purplish. Also, we have a license plate bracket. We definitely need one of these because currently there's nothing back here. Nothing. So we got a nice bracket to put up in here. That'll probably go on this new piece once we paint everything and replace all the pieces, but we'll get there when we get there. We also have some crash protection because this is definitely needed. My brother is a newer rider and we do want to keep this bike safe after we replace and rebuild this bike. Because as you can see, we already have some scratches. I might throw in a clip of this thing falling over, but pretty damn rusty. I haven't done any drills in months. Oh, we dropped it. Lift. There we go. There you go. You're good. Wow. It's okay. It's all good. We'll clean it up, make it look new, and he'll enjoy it for many more miles to come. But sit back, relax, enjoy the build. We got a lot to do and not a whole lot of time. My goal is to get this done in a week, so let's get started. We are on day one. We're going to start by stripping the bike down, probably cleaning the bike up, and then we'll get to sanding these pieces next, and we'll get rolling on the build. All right, quick update. Pretty much I sprayed all of the parts that I sanded previously. I kind of just do these parts quickly as a test. I'll show you the full process on the rest of the parts. But so far, if you look here, we have one of the side pieces of the bike. It's already been sanded to 800 grit and then primered. The primer coat went on nicely. I don't see any runs. It looks pretty smooth, pretty even. I'm pretty happy with that. If you look, we have the under tray piece where the license plate bolts onto. This piece is nice and smooth, primer's on, sanded nicely, looks good. Now we have the face of the bike. This came out pretty good. I decided to hang this one since it has so many angles to it. And this came out pretty nice. It's nice and smooth, nice and even. It was sanded to 800 grit and sprayed as well on primer. Once it's dry, we'll probably do a wet sand and then get it ready for base coat. All right, next we have a ton of parts to paint. First, we need to sand all of these to 800 grit, get them cleaned up, sanded down, isopropyl alcohol, and then they'll be ready for primer. So hopefully the goal is to get as many of these sanded and sprayed today. So let's get started. I'm just gonna basically start with some sandpaper. I got 800 grit, I got a water bottle, I got a bucket. Just gonna be nice and dirty, just spray it down, sand it nice and smooth, and then let it air dry. And then we'll spray it once it's dry. We'll hit it with some isopropyl and then primer it. So let's get started. We got a lot of pieces to get through. We got a lot to do, so let's go. Alright, so we got a lot done so far. Alright, so far you can see we have the front piece of the bike, we have the rear piece, one of the side pieces. These are a bottom piece right here, another side piece, and another bottom piece. So we got about a couple pieces sanded and primed. They look pretty damn good, they look pretty clean. I would say those just need to dry and harden up, and then we'll do some more wet sanding and get it ready for base and clear coat. So far we have quite a few pieces left, but we're getting there. We still have, I think, like 7 more pieces to sand. We're getting through them slowly. It's not taking too long. These ones are already sanded and ready for primer, so we have 2 more that are ready for primer, which is, we're making great progress. I would say we're making pretty good progress. It's only been a couple hours. So we're gonna sand the rest of these, and then we'll hit them with some more primer. But so far I'm pretty happy. We're pretty much trucking along. Once everything is completely primered, then we'll be set. But nothing to it but to keep sanding and just grind through this. So let's go. All right, as you can see, we have a ton done. So we have all the parts here laid out, ready to be painted. I have everything nicely sanded. You can see that some of these, like all the ones hanging up currently, these are all primered and ready to go. Those in the back are already primered and ready to go. I have a few that need to hit some primer. We're gonna do those first. We're gonna primer these, and then after that's done, then we'll start spraying everything with base, and if that goes well, we'll hit it all with clear. So let's get this done. This has been a long, long hours of just sanding, cleaning, primering, sanding, cleaning, primering. So let's get this done. We're gonna knock this out today, hopefully. Let's go. All right, so far we got everything nicely coated. So you can see here, everything has a base coat on it. Like if you look at these parts, they came up pretty damn good. Everything looks pretty even. It might not be super perfect. I would say it's 90% of the way there. I would say like I would love to spend more time on this stuff, but for me right now, with the amount of effort I put in, I'm pretty damn happy with this. Like you can look at these parts, like this looks pretty smooth. Everything else looks pretty smooth. Everything pretty much has a base coat on it. I'll let it dry for 10 minutes. But so far, everything looks pretty damn good. I'm happy with it. I think we could have probably put more time and effort into it, but for the results that I did so far, I put in maybe like 16 hours worth of sanding. I could have spent a whole lot more on sanding, but I kind of got lazy towards the end. I think everything else came out good so far, so I'm happy with it. Sorry if I'm a little muffled. I'm wearing the gas mask because it's pretty smoky in here, but I got the fan exhausting out the air. This worked out pretty good for getting rid of the fumes so we don't get everything covered in dust. But I'm happy with it. Everything looks good. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to hit it with the actual color coat next. So let's get to it. Alright, we're going to apply some base coat. This is the color that we're going with, winter gray. I think this will come out pretty good, so we're going to give it a try. Let's just send it basically. We're going to send it and see how this comes out. We got everything ready to go. Let's get to it. Alright, first coat's done. This bottle's pretty much empty. I'd say everything looks pretty good so far. I haven't hit the ones up top just yet. I haven't really hit these ones just yet. I hit this one and this one, but I'll get to that one later. We'll focus on the ones on the floor first. I'll give it probably like 5-10 minutes, and then we'll hit it with another coat and really layer it on thick, and then we'll see how it looks. Alright, we got the final coat done. We might do one more coat and just go through all the parts and make sure that everything looks good. But I think everything looks good so far. Everything's nice, evenly coated. I'm pretty happy with the results so far. So now I'm gonna dry for maybe another 5 minutes, check all the parts, hit them with one more coat if necessary, and then let them dry for maybe 30 minutes, and then we'll come through with the clear coat. Alright, so pretty much this is where we're at. As you can see, all these parts have been coated nicely with the base coat. They look pretty damn good if I do say so myself. This color is a little hard to capture with the lighting, but everything looks pretty smooth to me, I would say. I'm pretty damn happy with it. If you look at some of these parts here, you can see how nicely the coating is. I would say everything looks nice and even. I'm pretty happy with how these parts came out. So I would say they're not completely perfect, like some of them might have like some small imperfections in them. Maybe like some dust or something, but overall, for some motorcycle fairings with just a little bit of sanding and spraying some coat on there, I would say it looks pretty good. We're gonna hit everything with some clear coat now, and then hopefully everything comes out perfect, but this looks pretty damn good. Let's get to work. We got a lot of clear to spray, and we're gonna try to take it nice and easy. Make sure we don't have any runs, so let's get to it. Alright, we got this 2K clear. We're gonna basically use the cap here to puncture it, mix it all together nice and evenly, and then we're going to spray all these parts down. Alright, so you can see here we got the base coat done and the clear coat done, so you can see all these parts are nicely coated. I'm not too sure how they'll dry, but it seems so far that they look like they're going to dry pretty nicely. A little concerned with how much clear coat's on there, and some of them look a little textured, but we'll see once they dry. They might just need a little wet sanding afterwards, but for the few hours that I put into sanding and primering, I feel like a lot of these parts came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Like if you look at some of these, they came out pretty damn good, especially over here. Like this one came out stupid smooth. These one look pretty good. This one looks pretty good as well. I would say I'm overall pretty happy with this. We'll check back in probably like maybe an hour or two and see how they look. And then probably tomorrow we'll get them out in the daylight to see how they look once they're completely dry. So check back in soon.